Hello guys, this is my first video, a list about a piece of technology. Speaking of, we've got here the ThinkPad T440, a laptop from 2040. Yes, it sounds old, yes, it's not the most powerful machine and it does not support Windows 11 natively. But does that make it e-waste? Well, let's find out. First of all, here are its specs. So it's got a 4th gen i5 CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and it's not any RAM, it's DDR3L. So it's specifically made for this model. You can't use normal DDR3 RAM. It's got a 160 gig SSD, and it's got as well Intel Haswell ULT GPU, which is basically the name Intel has given for the Intel UHD 4400 GPU, which is an integrated GPU, of course. And also the screen, it's a 1600 by 900 TN panel, which is not great, but it's enough for business, for professionals and business owners, because this is what this laptop was made for. Now, that might seem surprisingly low end. Well, what if I told you this actually outperforms a lot of new machines that are 3 to 4 times this price? And speaking of, I bought this from OLX, which is like the Amazon for Romania, and I've paid for it around 300 Romanian currency, which is about $60. It came with an external and internal battery, which hold up pretty well, around 3 hours. Considering the fact that they're 12 years old and have never been changed, that's pretty good. Somehow the screen is still reasonably bright, and the keyboard is still amazing. No dents, no marks, nothing. And also the touchpad, even though it's the worst one made by Lenovo, it's still really good. Now let's talk about pure performance and when is this laptop actually good. If you are going to use it for gaming, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it only got 60 to 50 FPS in Minecraft using performance mods and bringing it to the lowest settings possible. However, it did not disappoint at all when editing videos. Now, don't expect it to be able to edit 4K 60 FPS videos, but it can surely handle some light editing, which is enough for most people. Watching YouTube and Netflix is actually pretty pleasant.
So the thing about modern laptops is that they kind of suck. They're thin, fragile,
And it can handle 1080 videos without any problem, and you can actually play some 40p videos as well, but with a few hiccups, so don't expect the best performance there as well. Now you might think, well, why would I own this and not a brand new device? Well, there are a few reasons, and the most important one, I think, is the price. You can find anywhere a brand new device that costs $60 and outperforms or just performs as the same as the ThinkPad T440. The second one is repairability. You can upgrade absolutely anything, from the RAM to the Wi-Fi card and even the CPU itself. As you can see in the photo, even the battery is held into place just by 3 screws. So if you got a screwdriver, you can replace it within minutes. Also, the screen can be replaced in less than 3 minutes. That's if you're a professional, if you've repaired a little before, but if you didn't, there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube, so make sure to watch them before if you don't want to break anything. The third and most reasonable reason for me is the keyboard, because I'm actually a big fan of the Lenovo's ThinkPad's keyboards, because they can be beaten by any modern laptop. It's just that good. And even though it's an island style keyboard, you can swap it within a few seconds with a 7-row keyboard, which in my opinion was the best of them, but this one is pretty decent. Now the last one, but this is just for a few people that enjoy tech and actually know how to use Linux. It's is drivers, because they have really awesome Linux support, and thanks to that I can use this laptop freely without being bloated by Microsoft, which, if you don't know, is the shit that Microsoft is putting on your device without you even wanting that. If you've ever used Windows 11, you probably know what I'm talking about, especially if you have more than 60 gigs of RAM, then you know that Windows 11 is running on 8 gig of RAM, so yeah. Now I will give you a few tips if you want to daily drive this machine, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. If you have one of these old hard drives, just throw it away and replace it with SSD. It's more lightweight, it's way more fast, it's way faster. I think this one is 30 to 50 times faster than an old hard drive. However, if you have any important files, this laptop has an M.2 SATA SSD port, so you can buy a cheap 32 gig M.2 SATA SSD, back up all the important files from the old hard drive, format it, put the OS on the SSD, and then copy the files back on the hard drive. So this way you can benefit from the storage of the hard drive and the speed of the SSD. Now my recommendation is to put an SATA SSD instead of the hard drive and replace it completely, and then M.2 SATA SSD in the port, but that works as well if you really need those files. Next, upgrade the RAM. Even though 4 gigs of RAM are enough for daily tasks, even for light coding, if you plan on doing some more tasks simultaneously on this device, the RAM is gonna fill up pretty quickly, especially if you are not using Linux. Next up, you probably need to replace the batteries, especially if you need to take this device with you often. The cells are mostly dead in most of these older ThinkPads, and the batteries are really cheap, and you can find them almost anywhere. Also, one extra tip: if you need the best performance, you could upgrade the CPU to an quad-core i7, but this is just gonna be expensive, and you'd be better off buying a refurbished T480 for less than $250. Or if you find one that's for PCs and you know how to repair it, then you can find it for around $100 to $150, which in my opinion is pretty good. With all of that being said, this laptop is clearly not for everybody, but if you're going to use it just for like editing, light gaming, and some coding and everyday tasks, then yes, this machine is for you. But if you're planning on building a nuclear reactor, then you might need to look out for newer machines. Quick note: I've been scripting this whole video on the T440, and I'm planning to edit it on the same device. So I hope this video has made your thoughts more clear and you now know if this device is for you or not. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech videos like this.